Good Wednesday morning to you here, and welcome to the very new live morning update on CBS News Minnesota. I'm Heather Brown. We're so excited to be with you here streaming this morning. Thanks so much for being with us. Let's get straight to Riley with your next weather forecast, because Riley, we are starting yet another mild morning.
Yeah, definitely. After a stretch of the 70s, it's going to continue once again for today. Now, there has been a few spotty showers out there. For that reason, I do have the next weather tower green, but these are going to be pretty hit and miss. Plenty of dry time for most areas, too. Now, we're starting off close to 60 already this morning. The wind remaining light, no visibility issues, but you can see we've been seeing a few light showers trying to get going there just around Wilmer towards St. Cloud, getting between St. Cloud and Buffalo, just north of the Twin Cities, seeing some sprinkles and some light rain showers. South and west, we've been seeing some around Slayton, Marshall, for example, and then Rochester, Preston, and Austin, a few sprinkles in that area too. So going to be kind of unsettled for today with some patchy sun still possible. Most areas have been starting off in the 50s to lower 60s. 47 in Bemidji where the colder air is. So your forecast for the rest of the afternoon still going to be a warm one as we approach those lower 70s today. Still can't rule out maybe a spotty shower chance before that colder air arrives into tomorrow and Friday.
Riley, thank you. We do have a next drive alert to tell you about this morning. Let's take a look here at Woodbury Drive. This is right 94 westbound, so this is coming into the cities. There was an accident that was here earlier. It has since cleared up, but you can see some of the lanes are blocked there, so there is a slowdown if you're coming out from Woodbury, if you're coming from the east into the cities, so give yourself a little bit of extra time in that area. We do want to get to your top headlines right now this morning because it is the final day of a strike for more than 100 health workers with Allina Health. So at last check, it appeared that both sides were far from reaching a deal. You may remember the group walked off the job on Monday. They're pushing for fair pay, good benefits, and more safety for their patients and staff. Well, in a statement to WCCO, Allina called the wage and benefit increases unrealistic and unsustainable. So the group of mental health workers plan to rally at Abbott Northwestern. That's going to start at noon today, and we will be sure to let you know if a last-minute deal is reached. We do have new developments this morning on 3 recent fires in the metro, but the big question right here this morning, were they set on purpose, and if so, by who? So investigators think that 3 recent fires were arson, and they are now looking for the people or who had lit these flames. So up in Maple Grove, police think that it was 5 kids behind a massive fire over the weekend. So it happened early Sunday morning at the lined greenhouse and nursery. Police say they are still looking for information. If they ask if you know anything about this, I mean, look at that back there. Oh, this was huge. If you know anything, give them a call. Also, you remember us telling you about this historic house in Minneapolis, been set on fire 3 times over a month span? Well, the fire department now says that someone had used accelerant to burn the Stevens house, you know, the one right over there, right over near, Lake Nokomis, Minnehaha Falls. So this fire back on September 20th, they couldn't figure out what had started the first fire, and they say that they are still investigating the third, but now they're saying perhaps that second one could be arson. And in St. Paul, the fire department there thinks that someone started a fire at this house yesterday morning. Now, thankfully, 4 adults and 3 dogs were able to get out safely. At this point, investigators say there's no reason to think that any of these fires are connected, but all of them sure could use your help. A man will spend the rest of his life in prison for killing a youth baseball coach during a fit of road rage last year. So cameras were rolling as a judge handed down the sentence to Jamal Smith. A few months ago, a jury had convicted Smith of shooting and killing Jay Boughton while he and his teenage son were driving on Highway 169 in Plymouth. And Boughton's family was there as Smith learned his fate.
The legal system was fair to us, but at the end of the day, it doesn't bring my husband back.
So Smith still claims that someone else in the SUV pulled the trigger. His attorney has threatened to appeal. He will be eligible for parole in 30 years. The outgoing Hennepin County Sheriff will lose his law enforcement license for a month. Dave Hutchinson, he pleaded guilty to DWI after crashing his work SUV. This was near Alexandria last winter. State Patrol said that he was speeding, was not wearing a seatbelt, and at first he had denied being behind the wheel, but later had decided not to seek re-election, also decided not to resign. The post-board discipline means that Hutchinson cannot have any other drinking or driving offenses for 3 years. 3 siblings are dealing with criminal charges more than a year after their brother died on the job. So James Standback, he was killed while he was operating a forklift at the Menards in Golden Valley. And at the time, there were protests outside and inside the store after he was killed. Now, the group demanded to know why Menards didn't close after the accident. Police say that they were harassing employees and customers. Well, now at least 9 people are facing trespassing and disorderly conduct charges.
For us to be getting charges filed against us when we all are mourning and grieving, and we didn't come up there on no violent type of time. We came up there just wondering what happened and why are they still open.
So OSHA fined Menards $25,000 earlier this year for its role in the deadly accident. Health experts say, go get your flu shots and get them now. And they say this coming as the flu season could be one of the worst in recent years. Now, you know, we have seen milder flu seasons over these past 2 years, and that's because of COVID precautions, because viruses are weird. So public health officials are worried that that could create a false sense of security. There's a new national survey. It found that less than half of adults in the U.S. do plan to get their flu shot this year. Just a third feel safe getting both that flu shot and the COVID vaccine at the same time. Ooh, I got mine yesterday. And, you know, only thing I'm feeling right now is that little bit of arm pain there. So the CDC says, yes, you can get them both safely together. They are urging everyone who's 6 months and older to get that flu shot. And they're also telling people if you are older, if you're 65 or older, you should opt for a higher dose flu vaccine.
For those ages greater than 65, there's a specific formulations of vaccines that you should get, and it dramatically reduces the likelihood of hospitalization and death.
So here's another indication that this flu season could be bad. In Australia, which experiences winter ahead of the U.S., they just had their worst flu season in 5 years. So often what happens there than what happens here. A church secretary is cited for filming officers, but now it's the police department that's actually paying up. Amy Koopman had streamed live on Facebook when she saw what she called a concerning traffic stop in Robbinsdale. This was back in August of 2018. The seminary graduate says that she saw officers with guns drawn on a black man. She ended up being cited for obstruction. Well, a judge later dismissed that. The ACLU took on her case and sued civilly. So the settlement awards Koopman $70,000, but she says that there was a bigger drive behind this, and that was policy changes.
To have the policy change, even without the express admission of fault, I think that demonstrates that they know they were wrong and they're going to change things.
So as part of the settlement, Robbinsdale police had to adopt policies, including recognizing people have the right to record police, and officers who fail to follow that policy will be subject to discipline, they say. They also must go through training on constitutional rights and obstruction laws. City of Robbinsdale telling us this settlement ends the possibility of more litigation, and the department's policy manual is being revised and training has been scheduled. So if you're getting one of those hero paychecks, a reminder they will start hitting the bank accounts today. More than 1 million Minnesotans are going to get just under $500. This is as a bonus for their work during the pandemic. And if you got it through a paper check, those will arrive in 4 to 6 weeks. Now here's a really cool story happening over in St. Paul. There's a new option for middle school families within the school district. It's called the Hmong Language and Culture Middle School. District leaders telling us that this is something that the community has wanted for a long time. This year, their first year of the school, welcoming 52 students, and Principal Vu Thor says that the goal is to celebrate and integrate Hmong culture.
They love it. Every day I keep saying it's like they're on a field trip that never ends. And the smiles and the joy that they have to come to a school that offers this opportunity for them to feel safe, to feel welcome into this building. And so it's a joy every day.
Right? Feeling like you're on a field trip every day, feeling welcome every day. That's what school's all about. Well, right now, Hmong Language and Culture Middle School has only 6th graders, but the plan is to add the 7th and 8th grades over the next 2 years. Our Bear Leone, she got a closer look at how this new school is impacting the local Hmong community. Check out her story on our website. You can find it at WCCO.com. So whether you live in the city or you live in the suburbs or you live in greater Minnesota, one thing we can all agree on is the fun and freedom of being on the open water or perhaps in the shaded woods. This weekend, one organization is making sure that everyone can do that no matter their ability. So today at 4, we're going to learn about a free and inclusive event that's happening this weekend that'll get your family in a canoe. You can learn about birds. You can enjoy scavenger hunts all along the mighty Mississippi. So that got us thinking. We got a question for you today. Are you planning on getting outside anytime soon? Certainly the perfect time of year to do that. And Riley telling us this weekend the weather's going to be beautiful, but this is the video. This is the video of the day. I could watch it all day long. Look at the drone 4 up high above the mighty Mississippi there. Look at those trees. Look at the reds and the oranges and the yellows and the greens. It is just so beautiful. I mean, it looks like a painting. It's hard to believe this is even real. You've seen just in the past 3 or 4 days, these colors have really popped. So this is right near Franklin Avenue Bridge, just overlooking the city. I mean, truly, right? One of the reasons that we love fall here in Minnesota. Isn't it stunning? You can catch, though, the fall colors all over the state. Check out the DNR Tracker Fall Colors Tracker map. You can see up north, they're already right there at peak up there. But, you know, one of my favorite spots, if you're coming in right on Highway 8 over Taylor's Falls, so stunning down there. Oh, anything down there around Red Wing. Let us know. Are you planning some kind of trip to check out the leaves this weekend? This could be your weekend to do it. The weather's going to be great. The leaves are going to look perfect. If you were doing something, let us know. We'd love to hear from you this morning. There's going to be a QR code right there on your screen. You can play along with our question of the day. Are you planning a big trip or maybe just a little trip? Let us know. WCCO.com/connect, because we want to hear from you. That's part of what this update is all about this morning. We want to interact with you. You want to be part of this. Check back later in the show and we'll just see what you're all saying there. But right now we got our Shayla Reeves calling quite a glowing story this morning. Shayla, it's a little bit lighter out there so we can see those beautiful jack-o'-lanterns. This is at the Spectacular at the zoo. I mean, just stunning out there.
It is incredible out here, Heather, and if you think it looks amazing now, you'll definitely want to see it at night. More than 5,000 pumpkins on display here at the Minnesota Zoo, and you've got plenty of time to check it out, too. This is going until November the 5th, and these pumpkins are carved. Even if you come the first day, you'll see them, new pumpkins surfacing throughout the weeks that we're here, and what's so cool about it is the artists are constantly at work creating new pieces of art for you to check out. So this again, the Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular, and this year's theme is Night at the Library. So you'll see so many cool and creative images. We've seen Edgar Allan Poe, we've seen even Encanto, a pumpkin representing the Godfather. If you're a comic book fan, you'll see plenty of pumpkins representing some of your favorite characters too. So this again is running until November the 5th. $18 to $24 for tickets. You have to get your tickets ahead of time before you come, but they do have some discounts if you're already a Zoo member that you can take advantage of as well. Heather?
It's just worth a trip out there to see the Godfather pumpkin. The artistry is so beautiful. Shayla, thanks for sharing with us this morning. Coming up, we have been waiting for this season all year long. When we're back, we're going to share some of our favorite fall traditions with you.
So welcome back to your morning update. Did you play along in today's poll?
We wanted to know just how many of you were making that seasonal trip to see our beautiful fall colors. Oh, look at that. We're pretty close you know, to a sort of a 50-50 split. More people saying, oh, maybe not this year, but perhaps after they saw that drone video, they're thinking, oh, yeah, I'm going to get out there.
See, that's exactly what I was thinking. If you haven't seen our drone video, your opinion could change very quickly. If you haven't chimed in yet, there's still plenty of time for you to play along. Scan this QR code on your screen. You can go to WCCO.com/connect because we want to hear from you. We're going to be checking in with this in just a little bit to see what you are saying. Look, we are so grateful that all of you are waking up with us every morning, welcoming us into your home. So since we're part of your mornings, we wanted to give you a chance to get to know us a little bit better.
Yeah, so on this show, we're going to be answering some questions that are things that are kind of closest to our hearts. We're going to talk about our hobbies, our interests, our families, and even how we got to be sitting in these chairs right now. And we'd love it if you would join us here. So maybe you're eating breakfast, having your morning coffee, take some time to chat with us, because this morning we're going to be talking about our favorite fall traditions.
I'm not sure if we're going to have enough time to talk about what happened for the last 2 days when it comes to your fall traditions, because you went to go pick up pumpkins.
I did, and usually our fall tradition is that the kids and I, we will go, and my husband too, and we go to the same church and we buy the same pumpkins every year. Well, I was at Lunds and Byerly's, and they have these beautiful pumpkins. And
Hold on. Beautiful is subjective here.
Yeah.
Just going to throw that out
I think we have a photo to show. And I said, there we go. That's okay. And I said, that is so cool. Look, it's a decorative pumpkin. You can see my big pumpkin right there. So I get to the checkout line, and I'm so excited about my pumpkin.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even say hi. I know this woman at the go to the store a lot. And she says, that pumpkin is so ugly. And I said, what? I said, it's not ugly. I said, it's decorative. Look, you're even selling this as a decorative pumpkin.
Oh my gosh.
And I said, maybe it's like one of those dogs that's like so ugly that it's cute.
So Heather comes into work. She goes, so she tells me the story, and she goes, wait until you see the pumpkin. I want to know what you think. And no, it's ugly. So
oh my gosh.
We'll have more fun coming up. Coming up, it's a story that we will be following for thousands of miles. We're going to have the latest update on a local mother-daughter pair hiking the Appalachian Trail. See how far they've made it when we come back. Hey, welcome back to the Morning Update Live, and we have a really great story to share with you right now. We've been following this mother-daughter duo on their way to accomplishing an incredible feat, hiking the Appalachian Trail.
So if that isn't already great enough on its own, the mother-daughter bonding and athletic accomplishment is something that they can really be proud of. Our Susan Elizabeth Littlefield will about to tell you that there is something about this journey that makes it even more inspiring.
Hi, this is my mom, Sue.
And this is my daughter, Greta.
And together, we're through hiking the Appalachian Trail.
Sue hopes to be one of the oldest women to finish. It's a goal, but mainly, it's a mission.
My dad, my husband, is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. If you don't know anything about it, it can really affect you physically. It can cause you to tremor. It can really make you slow down mentally.
But before they set off, they sat down.
This is not a week-long hunt. This is not a month-long hike. This is like 6 months.
Yes, so we start July 15th. Our goal is to finish by Christmas.
Unlike most through hikers, they're going north to south, starting in Maine, ending in Georgia.
I mean, it's a really huge undertaking, and I don't think that as we're getting closer, I'm understanding how really big it is.
It takes mental prep and physical prep, too.
I'm going to say a lot of planning.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We call it a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
So they are prepared for the 6 to 30 mile a day hikes.
What kind of food will you be eating?
We want high calorie content and low weight. Our house for the next 6 months is right here. This is our stove right there. That's it.
This and what I have on is what I will be wearing for the next 6 months. So that's it.
And I can attest, objects are heavier than they appear.
Not light.
No.
It's not very light.
This is not what I expected.
No.
Y'all are tough.
Tough and determined.
250 total miles on the Appalachian Trail.
To raise $50,000 for Parkinson's disease through Michael J. Fox's foundation.
But I can't help but draw a parallel between sort of the rigorous nature of this hike and the rigorous nature of Parkinson.
It goes on and on and on. At least we will be done and we will come home.
And when they do come home for Christmas, they will have quite a story to tell. Susan Elizabeth Littlefield, WCCO 4 News.
Wow. And we've got a great update from the duo that we are excited to share. After just over a month of hiking, they are 900 miles in. They've made their way from Maine all the way to Pennsylvania. By the way, in New Jersey, how about this? What would you do? They saw 4 different bears on the trail.
Well, if someone's ready, it's probably those two. And the calories they're burning, ooh, 5,500 a day. So the stops along the trail when they can actually eat that real food. Look at their eyes and their mouths. Those are quite something. They have been hiking up to 25 miles a day. So that's essentially hiking a marathon.
Yeah.
Every day. We'll be sure to check back with this pair when they get further along south. But you yourself, you can actually track their journey on YouTube. They're putting it up there, so we have a link at WCCO.com/links.
A couple of things stood out for me from that story. One, a logistical nightmare as far as trying to figure out the way they are going to navigate that. And two, just thinking about the mental preparation that they talked about that you have to know and think about when you are approaching something like this, because as you just mentioned, it's 25 miles, not once, it's 25 miles day after day after day.
But the reason behind their doing that, I'm sure that gives them strength there for their dad, for other people with Parkinson's. But I love these, you talk about these journeys that, mothers and daughters, or fathers and sons, or fathers and daughters that could take. There is a sort of a limited time period where, the child's old enough, the parent is young enough, and that they're able to do this, and that they've said, yes, we are going to. I think about that a lot with my own kids, is as they get older, is this something, I'm not gonna hike for 6 months, but could you do like a really cool adventure with them? And the fact that they're just doing this and taking it on, it's so cool.
And not only that, but you just mentioned, that bond, but that's something that both of them will never forget. I mean, they're going to carry that with them, like the inside stories that they have, or, hey, remember when we were here, when we were in Pennsylvania, and we accompanied this, and just those stories that they have, and that's time that they'll never get back to.
No, and also think about this, their story, we're sharing it here on WCCO, they're sharing it on YouTube, what they're going to be doing, the money that they're raising for Parkinson's too, and the awareness that they're raising there, that's also something that you can't put a price tag on. It's also so special too.
Cannot wait to continue to follow their journey.
Oh yeah, all right.
Coming up, we will get one final check of today's forecast. Make sure you stay with us.
Welcome back to our morning update here. We want to know, did you play along in today's poll? We were wanting to know, maybe you're taking a little trip to see those fall colors. Maybe you're just heading out to your backyard or to your neighborhood there. So we have our poll here. Let's see what you all are saying, because last time we checked in, we were about 45, 55, but look, the numbers have changed. Yeah, more of you weighing in, more of you coming in. AJ and I had suspected that when you saw that drone 4 footage over the Mississippi River, that maybe you'd be changing your plans. Yeah, I think we're gonna do this. What a beautiful fall that we have this year, and Riley telling us that we are going to have a great weekend ahead. So I hope you enjoy yourselves, and let us know if you have any cool spots, some of your favorite spots that you like to go to. You can always email us here on this update. We can talk about that too, and it's great that you're participating in the poll. It's so fun to hear from all of you. We do, though, speaking of that weekend, we want to get one final check of the forecast with Riley and what's happening today.
Waking up this morning, we're going to find temperature 73 degrees this afternoon. Still some sprinkles or a spotty shower chance possible. Plenty of dry time expected for us. These are going to be very hit and miss, but you want to get out and enjoy it for sure. Last warm day before that colder air arrives tomorrow. Look at that, mid-50s. That northwest breeze picks up for tomorrow. Can't rule out maybe a sprinkle tomorrow as well. Now, the coolest day of the week will be Friday. Only about 50 degrees. Most areas going to wake up in the outlying areas, especially with some frost possible Friday morning and on Saturday. But looking ahead to the rest of our week, and we brighten things up, warming trend will begin too Saturday and Sunday. Monday still looking pretty seasonal out there with highs close to 70 on Tuesday.
Thanks, Riley. So we have you covered all day right here on WCCO and on CBS News Minnesota. Here's what you can look forward to from us. It is the final day of a strike for more than 100 mental health workers with Allina Health. So both the sides appear to be far from reaching a deal at this point. Workers plan to rally at Abbott Northwestern. This is supposed to start at noon today. So we, of course, will be staying on top of this, and we will let you know if any last-minute deal is reached. Also streaming on CBS News Minnesota, you got your talking points with Esme Murphy. She is following all of that political fallout from the Feeding Our Future fraud case. She's going to sit down with some experts, break down really what happened here and who might be to blame. You can watch Talking Points tonight. It'll be right here on our streaming service, CBS News Minnesota. It'll air at 6:30 and then again at 9:30. So that's going to do it for our live morning update right here, CBS News Minnesota. Thanks so much for being with us in our debut of this new show. Thanks so much for streaming with us this morning. We will be back here again tomorrow, 7 a.m. for another update. I hope you all have a great, beautiful day.